What is happening, everyone? It is your boy Brad here. Welcome along to the Big Brad channel, and it is the day we have all been waiting for. It is the day that England play host to Germany, technically. Playing host because we're playing at Wembley, so yep, you know what it is. But it is the last 16, and we can't bottle it. We just simply cannot bottle this. But Germany, you cannot underestimate them. Excuse me. But again, we have got the players, I believe, anyway, to cause the Germans some issues and cause them some problems. And I just hope we don't bottle it. Simple as that. But I'm going to go into my predicted lineup for the game pretty soon. But first, let's all take a moment, because the last 16 so far started out pretty sluggish, started out a bit slow. But then, last night, oh my goodness gracious me. I mean, we've already seen some shocks. Don't get me wrong, before last night. We saw Portugal, the current and defending European champions. They were knocked out by Belgium. And the Netherlands were knocked out by the Czech Republic. But last night really was the shock of all shocks. I mean, I'm going to get onto that game in a minute, but first, the earlier game, Croatia versus Spain, set the tone, set the bar, raised the bar in terms of quality in games. What a game. What a game that was. What a game. I mean, Spain go 1-0 down thanks to the most. I mean, I've seen some own goals, but that's just, oh dear. Poor keeping by Unai Simon. He lets the ball go under his foot. It goes into the net. Croatia take the lead, and really it was against the run of play. In my eyes, when I was watching the game, Spain dominated the opening stage, but then that goal just really knocked the stuffing out of them, and it knocked them back. But Spain recovered. They scored just before half-time through Pablo Sarabia. Then they took the lead early on in the second half through Azpilicueta. Then they thought they won it through Ferran Torres to make it 3-1. You think at that point Spain are just going to go on and probably sit back, maybe hit on the counter-attack and get another goal. But no, they let Croatia back into the game, and it went 3-2, and you're thinking, well, at that point you're thinking, well, all Spain need to do is just hold out, try and get the win, 3-2. But no, 92nd minute comes, and the ball is floated into the box. Azpilicueta didn't press out. He should have gone out to a bit further, but not let the cross come in. And then it was headed in for 3-3, and then we go into extra time. The first game to go to extra time, was it? I don't think it was. Was it? Let me just concur with my wall chart, just to be sure. Yes, it was. It was the first game of the last 16 to go to extra time. And Spain got 2 more goals in extra time to win the game 5-3 through Morata and Oyarzabal. And that really did set the tempo up high for the next game, which is described as the shock to end all shocks. I mean, the current world champions, they were going into this tournament, so the prime favourites to do the World Cup and European Championship double, like they did in 98 and 2000. But they floundered. They absolutely floundered. They were really poor in the first half. They were 1-0 down at half-time. Seferovic with a really good header. Put Switzerland 1-0 up, and they were really controlling the play. I mean, France, they just couldn't do anything. They were really slow out the defence. They were really slow in possession. They just didn't look themselves. But then, a penalty was given. It was marginal. Very, very marginal, but it was inside the box according to VAR, and the referee gave the penalty. And Ricardo Rodriguez, he could have put daylight between France and Switzerland. It could have been 2-0, but no, it was saved by Lloris. Shocking penalty. And then a few minutes later, France go up the other end of the pitch and equalise. Karim Benzema with a piece of sorcery that I just don't know how the hell he took that touch from behind him. I really don't. Beautiful little flick with his back heel and then the left-footed poke over the keeper. Makes it 1-1. Then another few minutes later, they go 2-1 up. Benzema again. Good play between Mbappe and Griezmann, and then the swinging ball into the box. But it was a lob shot from Griezmann, which was palmed into the path of Benzema, which he dispatched with ease. And then Pogba scored probably the second, maybe third best goal of the tournament. Everyone say it's the goal of the tournament. No, it's not. Patrick Schick against Scotland all day long. No one's beating that. But Pogba scores a cracker, makes it 3-1. You're thinking at that point France are just going to go on now and probably put about 4 or 5 past the Swiss. But no. Football is just a weird old sport because Switzerland came back into it 3-2. And then in the 90th minute, they equalise. And you're thinking, what the hell is going on here? But extra time flew by. There was rarely any chances. Then we get to the dreaded penalty shootout. And first 9 penalties were scored by France and Switzerland. But then Kylian Mbappe, the youngster, he's primed and experienced in these tournaments. He won the World Cup. And he stepped up and Jan Sommer saved and sent France home from the Euros, which was a massive, massive shock. But they play in the quarterfinals against Spain, Switzerland, so they will go into that with hella confidence. And that will be the first quarterfinal, which is live. And then the other quarterfinals will follow. But the day has come where we will see whether England have got it in them to bring it home. I mean, look at the route that we could potentially have to the final. We've got a pretty damn easy route, but you can't really call it easy because these teams have shown that they can match up against the big boys. I mean, the Czech Republic, they knocked out the Dutch. They gave us a good game at Wembley, but I mean, Spain are still there. Belgium are still there. Germany is still here. Obviously, we play them tonight, but we've still got to put in a performance against them. I mean, I think we can. I think we can put in a performance against Germany, and we just need to sort it out. Because if we don't, we're screwed. And I mean, people are saying that Gareth Southgate is going to be playing a 3 at the back, which I do not want to see. I do not want to see a 3 at the back against Germany. No way do I want to see that. But it's rumoured that Gareth Southgate is going to put a 3 at the back against Germany. Which, if we play negative, then there's just no point. If we scrape a 1-0 win, then obviously no one's going to complain. But we need to play a better brand of football against the Germans. Because if we play the same way we have done throughout the groups, we will get absolutely torn to shreds by the Germans. They have got the quality to rip us apart and pick us off at any given moment. So we need to level up with them. And we have got the players to do so, like the Jack Grealishes, Bukayo Sakas, Phil Foden's, Mason Mounts. Excuse me. But again, I just hope we come into this game with the right mentality and the right game set and the right game plan to combat the Germans. But this is my starting 11, starting to goal, Jordan Pickford. Not put a foot wrong in the groups. Played well. Distribution's always on point. So I would go with him. No point in dropping him. Going to a back 4 I'm going to go with. I'm going to start off at the right back with Reece James. I mean, Kyle Walker, he will be the obvious choice with the pace, but for me, and most people disagree with me on this, and I know they will because they clearly either haven't been watching the Euros or whatever, or just not been watching Kyle Walker's performances. But yeah, Walker's got the pace set to get back and defend, but as an attacking fullback, he offered nothing in those games that he played. He offered nothing at all going forward. So that's why I would go with Reece James. He offers more going forward and defensively as well, so That's what I would go with. Centre-back pairing of Maguire and Stones, pretty obvious. Now that Maguire's fit, and he looked really good against Czech Republic in the last group game, so I'd stick with that partnership, even though Mings performed well in the first 2 games before Maguire came back into the fold. But that's what I'd go with. At left-back, I'm going to go with Luke Shaw. Pretty obvious choice. Ben Chilwell, I don't know what the situation is with him and Mount, whether they'll play tonight or what. Personally, I'd put Mount on the bench. In my midfield 2, I'm going to go with Calvin Phillips. And I'm not going to go with Declan Rice. I don't want to play with 2 DMs against Germany. I'm going to go with Jude Bellingham. I'm going to give the youngster a chance. We need an engine in there to combat the likes of Leon Goretzka, Toni Kroos, Gundogan. We need someone with an engine. Someone who can run. Someone who can tackle. I mean, Declan Rice is good, don't get me wrong, but I would prefer it if we play with someone who can get forward and play some decisive passing. Jude Bellingham is up there with it. But if it's not Jude Bellingham, then if Mason Mount's available, then I would play him. But other than that, I'm going to go with Jude Bellingham alongside Calvin Phillips. Going to the attacking 3 behind the striker, obviously you know the striker is Harry Kane. I'm going to go with Harry Kane for that position, so I'll get that one out of the way. He needs to show up. He needs to show up in this game tonight, and hopefully he does, because we need him to score. He's our main goal-scoring threat, and he has not turned up in any of these games in the groups. So we need him to turn up tonight in the big game. On the left-hand side, I'm going to go with Bukayo Saka. Simply because he was brilliant against the Czech Republic. And I mean, you cannot drop a player that was that good. Even if Phil Foden's good, I'd still stick with Bukayo Saka. And I would play Grealish in a cam position in the number 10, just behind the striker. And then on the right, Raheem Sterling. They can alternate. Inverted wingers, Sterling and Saka. And that will be my starting 11 for the game against Germany tonight. And hopefully we see a performance. That's all I want to see tonight. Just a performance. Not one of these scrappy games of football that just bore the shit out of me and whatever else. I just want to see a comprehensive performance from England. But we know Germany are going to be a mega test. So hopefully we get a win. But it is going to be tough. So guys, you know what to do by now. Slap a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new for more content, and we'll see you next time.